Hello there. I had a spiritual experience 3 years ago where I had direct contact with what one might call God or the Creator. But it wasn't just one person, it was multiple people, all at once. Some of which I knew here on Earth before they died, and they gave me empirical evidence of that it was definitely them, not only through me but through someone else who told a story that only me and that person knew, if that makes sense. Like, the other person who was channeling this deceased person that I knew, they explained something, they being my earthly friend. They explained something that only me and this deceased person would knew. So they were trying to get in contact with me multiple times. So many times that it was like 4 times when I remembered over the course of a year that they tried to contact me, and I didn't listen. I asked a friend, how do I do this? How do I channel? Because at the time I wasn't so sure I believed in channeling, being able to talk to the deceased or spirits. There are some religions that even look at that as if it's a bad thing. You could say that anyone who says a prayer or talks to God, they are also talking to spirits. It's not any different of a concept to talk to a deceased person, and they're not deceased. They're not. It's I kind of see it like we are all spirits inside of a body, and some spirits don't have a body the way you and I do here on Earth. It's not hard to imagine that this isn't the only form of living. And there's a lot of weird occurrences in this on Earth. You might notice how that's a reality. Like, for example, maybe your pet. Like, my cat has incredibly humanistic characteristics. I'm not the only one who has said that. Different friends and family are like, your cat is human. He's kind of incredible. That's just one example. Another one might be prodigies, people who can do extraordinary things ever since they were kids. And you might even notice some people who don't feel very comfortable in their own skin. They feel very weird in this current reality, or they don't feel at home around other people. I've definitely felt that way. Actually, kind of all the above that I just listed with you throughout my whole life, ever since I was a little kid. I even felt as if my family wasn't my real family or true family, and I'm not demeaning them in any way. It's another way of phrasing it would be that they are my real family, but maybe over a longer timeline, I've had deeper family. Clearly, I believe, I don't even like to say believe, I entertain the notion of reincarnation. And I also think that it's probably something very different than how it's expressed in most philosophies. But most of my life I've had sort of an intuitive knowing where things would just kind of I used to think I was just kind of intuitive or intelligent, but after a while, this idea of reincarnation or being able to channel other spirits, it's not something I do I believe in as a superpower. I'm actually attempting to be more humble than I used to be. I used to think, I'm intelligent and I have some sort of brilliant way of looking at things, or maybe not even brilliant, just different, right? So it's actually more humble for me to say that I am not the one who is giving myself this information. It's coming from other places, right? And I also don't see it as a superpower because I believe that everyone can do this. There are just some that are, they have sort of a natural inclining towards certain traits that do this. And I also don't claim to be the best at this either. In fact, this only happened 3 years ago, and I'm not exactly a young person, despite whatever you might think of my appearance. And I have had difficulty getting back to this bliss state where I was talking with the Creator and other spirits, passed away relatives. And I have gotten to a point where I'm okay with people considering me crazy or delusional. I had to go through a lot of that within the last 3 years, talking to certain people, my friends and family. And it was amazing to me how many of them would not trust me, even though I did my best to trust them. In actuality, I kind of see that in hindsight that maybe I trusted them too much and maybe they didn't trust me enough. And that's just a maybe. Maybe we just weren't each other's cup of tea, right? So, had a lot of not so ideal exchanges over the last 3 years, and I'm just trying to get back to that bliss state where I felt love in a way I had never before. And we hear such a simple word, love. And we have a lot of associations that come with that. I have noticed with movies, and I was a film enthusiast or a film critic, whatever you want to call it, for many years. In most movies, you might have a hero who has to destroy a lot of people or rail against some sort of challenge to get to love, but they rarely explore what love is. Often it's about stature, like becoming higher than not only yourself but other people. So you might, a typical almost medieval times idea of love is you have like a knight who destroys a bunch of villains, maybe enemies of the kingdom, and then they win this fair maiden, their approval. They demonstrate their worthiness by doing a bunch of deeds that are kind of egregious. although it might be to protect the tribe and the village or the kingdom. You'll notice this same style in movies, even in superhero movies, like comic book movies. And I don't think it's healthy because it doesn't actually explore love. So what is the love that I felt? This is a good question. I felt at home, not only as a place outside of myself, but inside myself. Like I felt comfortable in my own skin for once. And not only that, but these spirits, or you don't have to believe me that they were spirits, or whoever I was in contact with, they were sharing things with me there was no way I could possibly know. They proved to me that, and it was again humbling. There was this sort of surge of poetry, love, vibrance, that I've had many clever epiphanies and synchronicities over my life, but there was no way I could have come up with it myself. They made it real obvious to me, and I'm grateful for it. And I just want to get back there again, and I thought maybe, in sharing this video with you, this ambient music here right now, this is How to Disappear Completely, the Polish collective. They gave me permission to play their music in the background because that's what I normally would be doing. This ambient music came on by itself, and it has been going on for the last 3 years, and I never listened to stuff like this before. It puts me in a meditative space, and I thought maybe if I share this meditative space with you, maybe you and I can get back there together to that bliss state where we feel truly comfortable in our own skin. We know what love feels like, not just concepts of it. Love has always been inside of us, even when it's been oppressed or bottled up inside of us by other energies that might want to control us. Or maybe they just want to do what they want to do so much that they aren't very mindful of what you want to do. I think love is not, I think it's a multifaceted emotion. I think most emotions are multifaceted. What one person, her name's Marilyn Lightwork, you can find her on YouTube or Facebook. Marilyn Lightwork. She said that love was the emotion that is just the beginning to just hearing the spirit world. So they talk about enlightenment and joy and peace, like as things that will deepen your connection with being able to hear the spirit world, or even just hear your own spirit better. I don't view emotions as better than other emotions, though. That's I covered that in the last video, but it's so vital for me to cherish all emotions, and the emotions that are bad. You might be depressed, for example, of something bad that someone else did to you, and trying to make sense of it. I don't think invalidating your own emotions is a good idea. It's a matter of working through them, finding the balanced version of that emotion, what it really wants to be, so that it can chain react with multiple other emotions, such as love and joy and peace and enlightenment. To me, enlightenment is kind of like a deeper, more bountiful version of love, in which you might be able to feel love even when challenged by people who are trying to take love from you, whether they know it or not. Let's just take a moment to enjoy existing. Have a lovely day.